Welcome everybody to Dragons in the Dining Room. It is a wonderful, fine Easter Sunday, and we are gathered here today to figure out what the heck's going on in Sand and Magic. Mowage. It is what brings us together today.
I call it hot brown morning potion.
Yes.
Huh?
No. Dragon Prince.
We started watching it on Netflix last night, and there's a scene where one of the guards is like falling asleep, and the wizard pours him this cup of something, and she goes, "Drink this. It'll help keep you awake." I call it hot brown morning potion, and I'm like,
So, we are playing Sand and Magic today. A game that started off as just something silly to play, turned out being a Stargate ripoff, and is now taking a slightly different course as I am converting it into a module game.
I can only see half your head, Sam.
Oh, hold on, let me see. I can take care of this.
I can scoot closer to Darian, that's okay.
She bites.
No,
I
she
mean,
lit.
I think that's a reason to scoot closer, quite honestly, but I feel like Maria from The Sound of Music. I can stretch everywhere.
Alright, that should help a little bit. There we go. That should help. Now, where we last left off, the players had made their way back to the town, well, the city that they had started in, speaking to a sultan, and they traveled much of the desert, finding their way to another city that they wound up making their own by happenstance and circumstance, called Kassim. Whereupon they learned that the followers of the evil deity Set are trying to resurrect him. Hello Poison, hello Krabby, and hello Tay.
Heyo, everybody!
They learned this information from a genie, or a djinn.
Well, a djinn, because then she told us there was different kinds of genies. There was Freedy, there was...
Well, she's not a djinn.
Well, no, but she...
Which is one of the 4 types of genies.
Right.
Do you remember which type of genie she is?
She was a Merid.
There we go.
I had notes!
And what's special about the Merid?
Alright, someone else. I don't want to hog the spotlight. Let someone else bring in this fact.
Did any of the other 3 remember what was special about the Merid?
No, I have Marid, one of 4 types of genie friends.
Do you remember anything? Do you remember anything about what happened to the tent when you found out she was a Merid?
She's a water.
There you go. Water. She seems to be kin to the elemental plane of water.
Yeah,
But we didn't know if that was all Merid or just her, to be fair.
That's why I said seeds.
I've got Queen of Whirlwind.
There you go. She also happens to be, at least from her statement, royalty.
Yeah.
Yes, Master of the Pearl, Master of the Pearl Tower, Queen of the Coral Run.
Yes, Master.
So,
This is the DM. He's
Yep.
Thaco in the north. Sorry.
No respect in this house, I tell you.
This is Joseph Rick. He's grooming the north.
Yes!
I'll have to say that was very well played, ladies.
Oh, yeah. No, like Aaron made that whole thing just work perfect.
That was very well played. So, after learning that the followers of Set were trying to resurrect Set, your Merid friend expressed a desire to have you try to do what?
Give me a second. I'm going to be honest. I was half listening. I was still thinking about the group in the north thing.
We're supposed to travel to the nearest cities, gather info about the followers of Set and how they plan on resurrecting him, possibly powerful artifacts, and then we're also supposed to gather reinforcements to make an army to crush them.
Yeah.
That was also before we realized there was all the little symbol thingies of Turet and Omet and Apophysis and Sobek and
Stew.
And
Stew.
Can't forget Stu.
Oh. Never.
Because he's the turtle and Turtle Stew.
Alright, so after that, you guys did make your journey back across the desert to the origin city. And that was Noth, I believe is what I named it, correct?
Yes.
Right. You guys made your way back to Noth, found the Sultan, and as you were getting your way back to the Sultan, you noticed something interesting about the city of Noth. Do you remember what that was?
There were new people there. We noticed that a lot of people had the symbol thingies around their neck, and when we met with the Sultan, one of his advisors had one of those thingamabobbers. And he did not seem as perturbed as we felt maybe he should have been.
He who? Which he should have been more perturbed?
The Sultan.
Gotcha.
Salty.
Wasn't salty.
Well, if he's in the desert, he might be salty. Because he sweats a lot, and then you're like, salty.
And you guys made your case to him. And he asked you if you would spend the evening while he mulls over the information that you have given him. You have been given guest chambers again, and that is where we left off. Was you guys retiring back to your guest chambers?
Actually, I want to go talk to my sister. I want to go over to her guest chamber and be like, Kita, Kita, Kita.
I will hesitantly open the door.
Kita, I was thinking, we need to talk. Let me in.
I will let her in.
I will go like on her bed and sit down and be like, I was thinking, do you have any pickles?
Pickles?
I've been craving pickles, but regardless of that, I was thinking, do we want to go talk to the Master of Whispers?
I'm taking that as a no.
But think about it. I mean, let's not send Jocelyn, because his sorry ass will get tied up again. Maybe he likes that. Who knows? But my point is, he could potentially be an ally.
Wait, who's Jocelyn?
Wrong campaign. Crap. Who are you in this? Wait, no.
Ashlyn?
Ash! The other one.
Oh, brother!
To be fair, I was just reading Kushiel's Dart, so leave me alone. It's a compliment. Ash. Maybe we should not send Ash. He seems a bit burnt out. Don't know why I didn't make that joke sooner. It's epic, and it was right there the whole time. Thoughts?
Sorry, I had a single jelly bean and it's sticking to my tooth. That was a mistake.
May I offer you some hot brown morning potion?
When a jelly bean interrupts talking.
Would you should have stuck with this fruit
I
sack?
got stuck in one of my molars, so like it was sticking in it. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I agreed not bringing Ash. Because last time Ash got himself, tied up and was about to be sold into slavery until we rescued him. And, wait. Because he wanted me to bring back, whatchamacallit?
Treasure, right?
I had treasure I could give to him, so
anyone should go alone?
Question.
Answer.
I have 2 ancient ritual books on my character sheet.
Yeah.
Was that a corgi? There was a corgi that just walked by our house.
Oh, Corgopopper.
Changed everything.
And I'm trying to remember if I feel like I got them amongst the stuff that the troll had.
What'd you do? Oh, what'd you do? Everyone's gone except me.
Uh-oh.
This isn't good. Hello.
I'm sorry about that. I hit a button and something changed.
Yes,
This
it did. I see Angie's itty bitty arm, and that's it.
Sorry, guys. I'll get that fixed. I promise.
Hey, Ront. Apparently I smoked everyone else out of existence with the help of a button extension.
Oh jeez, this is a little tricky.
Sorry, guys. I'm fixing it.
Oh wow, that is kind of trippy.
Technical difficulties.
Joe used to have that nervous.
Oh yeah, the one true halfling survived. Not my fault, right? I
I will
miss.
fix this. I promise.
the
For some
descent
reason,
into Avernus group.
I like to break things
Bit.
during our game.
Well, yeah.
Well, we have to break it at least once, or we wouldn't be dragging in the dining room.
Wouldn't exactly, because technical difficulties. I suppose I could actually take my dice out. I'm just having fun playing with it.
Yeah, you could, since Dom's not there to mess it up.
Right?
So now you guys get to see how to set up OBS while you're gaming.
Yeah.
Just sit and adjust the streams and move them around.
Let's see. I also have a bunch of gems I could potentially give to him if I have to. I'm not giving him my loot.
Why not?
I don't think he wants your loot. I mean, he wants your loot, but he doesn't want your loot. Does that make sense?
Maybe.
He wants your loot, but he doesn't want your da-da-da-da-da.
Hey, mister, why can't you drive away?
Yes.
So we're
Probably-
waiting for technical difficulties.
A good time to get more coffee.
Well, you guys can still talk about your plans.
Well, the coffee's right there. But yeah, I think we should take some of the treasure, not the loot, and bring it to him. I don't think anyone should go alone, though. That's why I'm talking to you instead of Ash.
So you want the 2 of us to go find the Master of Whispers
Yeah.
and maybe see if he will take my...
And maybe we can offer a little bit of information, and he'll give us some information in return. He does seem to be a rather knowledgeable fellow, as much as I don't like him. But kind of do, because he tied Ash up. I have mixed feelings, and I don't think we should tell Grug either.
I agree. What about Jeffrey? Should we bring Jeffrey with?
No.
No? Well, I suppose.
Think about it, he might try and keep Jeffrey, and then he'll give Jeffrey a sock, and then Jeffrey will run away, and all of this will have been for nothing.
So all has been for naught. Is there a quick question? Sorry to sidetrack. Is there a way for me to just have chat up on my computer?
Yes. If you go to chat on Twitch, you can click on the gear icon, change it to non-moderator view, click on pop-out, and maximize that.
Perfect, because I like to be able to watch chat at least a little bit without...
Oh! I've got a 2 on my roll.
Yes.
That's alright.
Loxy's got a 2, and it looks like
I'm good with that.
it looks like Jeffrey's got. I don't know what Jeffrey's got because it was never rolled for. Jeffrey's got a 6.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you guys I did not catch what your decision was on going to visit the Master of Whispers.
My sister and I want to go visit him and not tell Grug so he doesn't accidentally give Jeffrey a sock and then Jeffrey runs away and then all of this will have been for naught. And we're not telling Ash because he's burnt out because that is the most epic joke that's been there for frickin' ever.
Okay, so you guys are going to go run off to visit the Whisper of Masters.
Yeah!
Ash.
Wait, there's a whisper
Jeffrey.
of a master? I must chase this whisper.
Ash, Jeffrey, what are you guys doing at the moment?
Eating cheese.
I'm eating grapes.
Ooh.
So we were back in our room.
Cheese sounds good.
Would you like some cheese?
Chilling my room, relaxing.
Extreme cheese? Do you want?
I want to try some of that new stuff you got.
Happy that
What
all
kind?
the work
All of them.
and are out of my
Choose one.
Okay.
Not the spicy one, though, because I had that yesterday.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to be in the room munching on grapes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good. Okay. Let's do this.
There we go. I can't see Gabs, but I can watch chat and I can see everybody else.
That's all right. So, and Ash, what are you up to?
I'm pretty much just gonna be going happy that there's no more sand in my forest.
You find a single grain of sand in your sock.
Welcome to the party, Captain Zodabeard. You cannot have my property. It's my property, and 9 times the law says so.
It's okay, Krabby. Krabby gave me a stick.
All right, make sure you remember that. So, we will have the two of you just chilling out in your rooms, and as soon as my lovely wife gets back, we will discuss what's going on with the two gnomes.
Happy.
We're not gnomes!
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just, I'm gonna be chilling. I'm going to sharpen any weapons that need to be sharpened.
Well, if you guys want to create any mischief or anything else, please speak up. Because I'm just going to, again, take care of these two talking to the Master of Whispers. How are you going to go about finding the Master of Whispers?
Well, shouldn't he be where he was last time?
Yeah, I mean, I would start there, go to the shop he was at.
Okay. So, as you guys make your way out of the Sultan's palace, the first thing you note is that there are more people walking around in robes in the Sultan's palace than there was before.
Wait, like bathrobes or like wizard robes?
And Kita, you now have a fork.
No, I don't. No. There are no gnomes here.
He used your appropriate name, though.
And he spelled it right, so I kind of have to give that to him.
Yeah, exactly. So, you guys notice...
He said when he loaded Ash Ketchum.
So, and when I say you notice these robes, the last time you were here, most everybody was either dressed in some sort of armor that reflected the Sultan, or they were in slaves' garments. These folks are dressed in robes much similar to what the advisor was wearing when you walked in earlier. And on a few of them, you can see a little deformity underneath the chest of the robe that belies some of those emblems that you have been seeing poking up more often.
Can I try and pickpocket one of the emblems off somebody?
It's in their boob pocket.
Actually, it's around their neck, so I'm not going to say no.
Wait. Before we go, Haiti, we need to find a trench coat. Because then we'll be tall enough that I could pickpocket it off somebody without them noticing.
I don't know if I agree with this.
2 halflings in a trench coat.
Between the two of us, we would be 5 foot tall.
You might be a little bit more than that.
No, because I think she's 2'11" and I'm 3'1". Oh no, so we'd be 6 feet tall.
Yeah. You could pull that up.
I can't math.
That's all right.
I'm almost done with your thing, Taco.
Okay. So, are you actually going to attempt to do this, or?
No.
No? Oh.
All right. Do you really, really want to?
No, it's okay.
I mean, if you really want to, I'll do it. But I'm gonna have to be the base because I think I'm stronger.
Well,
What the heck? Do we have a trench coat?
There is no such thing as a trench coat in this world.
Okay, well then we need to go steal one of Grug's shirts. Because that would work.
Question.
What?
If we got like a robe or something to do this with, could I use my hat of disguise to make it more convincing?
Ooh. You know, she got a point.
I don't think Grug's shirts are 6 feet long.
Well, no, but the shirt
I thought
would
Grug
work
didn't wear
better.
shirts.
Well, we've got that as well.
So
No,
wait.
she didn't break me. I'm literally just sitting here trying to put this together because it's the first time I've had somebody actually try it, but not the first time I've heard it.
Okay, well, so the typical clothing is essentially just like a sheet toga type thing, right?
They are variations on robes, yes.
Okay. Then do I have? Okay, I don't have minor illusion. I want to see if I can use my hat of disguise to essentially, so we're gonna take a bed sheet
Okay.
and fashion it into as close to an approximation of the normal like robes that people wear.
Okay.
And I want to use my hat of disguise to make it look more convincing.
Okay, how do you mean more convincing?
Like, give myself like more humanistic proportions.
Okay. Roll me a deception at advantage.
Oh gosh, okay, that's actually not bad. Advantage, right?
Correct.
That would be a 24.
Okay. Now,
And I am proficient in disguise kit too, if that helps, so.
Katie,
Yeah.
I need you to roll me an athletics.
Alright. Hold on.
And Kita, I need you to roll me an acrobatics.
Oh wait, no, crap. I didn't use that too.
I'll
have to use that too.
Well, you had the 2
Yeah,
prior
but
to rolling for your disguise. So add that to your disguise.
So for my disguise, the 2 would have been a 9.
Okay.
You
Thank
said you wanted cheese, so I made you a mouse.
Krabby, why did you do this to me?
Oh.
Oh my gosh, you're a dork, Gabs.
There's 7 kinds of cheese on there. He said he wanted cheese, and I wanted to say I love you, so I did the thing.
Actually,
Alright. I have a dork for a wife. I love it. I need your athletics roll.
Oh, yeah, it's a 2+. Please hold.
Wait, did you get a 2 as well?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this roll, them rolling, every single one of us 6 or lower.
Ouch. And what is your acrobatics?
my acrobatics would be an 18. So I rolled a 10.
My athletics is an 8. We're gonna have to reposition.
Nope. Don't worry about it. You guys are doing this thing.
Hold on, now I gotta get my coffee because I was busy making your cheese
Go get
plate.
your coffee. So you guys spend about 20 minutes getting all of this stuff put together so that you can sneak around looking like a human. And as you guys make your way out into the hallway, it's not that easy moving about, as you two have never done anything like this before, so it's somewhat awkward. The appearance that you have taken using the hat of disguise and your skills at disguise kits allows you to create a very passable visage of a human. However, your sister, Katie, finds walking about holding Kita on her shoulders to be a little bit more difficult than she anticipated.
You should have eaten less dessert.
It's not so much the weight as it is trying to keep a center of balance.
Okay, never mind. I take it back. Go eat your cookies.
The good news, however, is your sister is quite adept and manages to keep her balance. So as you walk down this hallway, the both of you working in tandem appear to be a very drunk person. As you make your way down the hallway, there are people that are looking at you and they're raising eyebrows, they're giving you birth, but there doesn't seem to be any suspicion being raised at the moment.
No, just your random drunk person in the middle of the Sultan's palace. We're good.
Day drinking is a thing from what I understand.
Yes, it is.
So, now that you guys are meandering down the hallways, Kita, you're steering. How are you going to go about doing this?
I'm steering?
Well, you're the one who's got eyes. Your sister is underneath a robe.
Oh gosh. How am I supposed to pull her hair?
Well,
Just put your hands in my hair and pull my hair to direct me which direction to go.
sweetheart.
Ride
Yeah.
it like a horse. Squeeze on the one side that you.
If she's leaning down to grab your hair and steer you a la Ratatouille,
Mm-hmm.
her arms aren't visible as you're walking
Oh.
down the hallway, so it's going to look very,
Use your legs like earmuffs. Like, just jiggle one leg or squeeze on one side.
I'm just gonna be like sitting on her shoulders.
Yeah.
Ride her like a horse display gated.
Wait. If your legs are in front, just like tap with your heel.
Oh god. Okay. Yeah, no, I'll just like nudge one way or another when I need her to turn.
okay.
I'll do my best to comply with my rider.
Roll me an intelligence.
Just a straight int?
Yep.
18.
Okay, you guys managed to work this out with little to no planning, but with rather good success.
Woo!
It takes probably about 2 or 3 turns and movements through the hallways before you guys are pretty good at figuring this out. Oh ho, and I've got advantage. Your bribe has been well noted, Pika. So yes, you're making your way down the hallways now, and it is kind of awkward. You do look very much like a newborn pony learning how to walk, but you're making your way through the hallways just fine.
Dragons After Dark.
And now that you're doing this, what would the two of you like to accomplish?
I think we're headed for the Master of Whispers shop.
Yes.
Alright. So you guys make your way out of the Sultan's palace, out into the street proper. And I'll need a Constitution save from you.
Why? I'm sure she bathes.
Thanks, Gabs.
17 plus 4, 21.
Okay. So having your sister riding on your shoulders like this is not starting to exhaust you yet. But, you know, that constant weight on your shoulders, it is going to start to burn your legs out after a while.
That's why I'm a barbarian. Can I rage to make it easier?
Maybe.
Like, I can quietly rage, be like, I'll like bite my lip to get me good and angry and nice and strong. Please let me do the thing.
I'm not going to stop you from raging. I'm just trying to figure out how you're going to keep the rage.
Silent raging.
Well, I'm wondering, like, would that... No, that wouldn't necessarily help me, so never mind. That's alright. I'm just gonna keep on keeping on.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need everybody to roll a d6.
You bastard.
Everybody.
Did anybody get a 1?
Not my fault.
Nope.
Darian? Okay. As you guys make your way through, you start getting through the Sultan's garden. There's a few people milling about, and you guys are capable of navigating without too much difficulty. However, once you pass through the gates into the city proper, there's a lot more people. There's a lot more things going on. There's a lot more stuff happening. Wagons, carts, people, children, animals. It's busy out here. And there are a lot of obstacles for you to avoid and navigate through.
Yep, this one's a lucky one.
And you manage to get your way through a small section of town without any issues. Then you come around a corner, and it's one of the small areas where they do some traffic for sales and merchandise. And I need a dex save and a strength save. A dex from Kita and a strength from Katie, as all of a sudden somebody bounces off of you.
16 on the die plus 6, so 22.
30, 42, divided by 3 is... Okay, you guys are okay. What'd you get?
22.
And?
17.
Okay, you guys take this person bouncing off of you without losing your disguise, and there's a brief look of confusion from the gentleman that bounced off of you as he turns, looks at you, and I'm sorry, and just kind of keeps moving. But there's a bit of confusion in his face. You're not sure why.
I'm like gripping my sister's ankles like, don't say anything, I can't say anything.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Alright, and then you guys make your way through town to the shop that you guys had found the Master of Whispers in earlier, and you can smell that aroma of smoke, small haze in the air, and as you go to reach for the door flies open in your face. One of those, we go to open the door at the same time somebody else does. And I need one more strength and dexterity from each of you.
Crap.
Oh no.
Oh, that's not as fortunate. That would be 13.
And 11.
Ooh.
I'm holding on!
And as you guys try to recover from this, you manage to keep your feet. However, your sister winds up going backwards, and you do an absolutely amazing job of mimicking that scene from Neo in the Matrix where he's dodging bullets and you bend in half at the waist in an obscene angle.
Can I try and pull her back up?
Yeah. And as you do this, the person standing at the door looks at you, eyes wide as saucers. And then, oh, you must be one of those dancer types. I knew you were flexible, but that's just creepy.
I squeeze my sister's foot, like, say something.
It's called contortionism. It's all the rage over in Bram.
I see. I may have to go visit.
I probably shouldn't fiddle with.
Especially
I
if
should said that.
the women are as beautiful as you. And then you watch his face flush as he hurriedly starts going the opposite direction of you guys.
Excuse me, I didn't catch your name. Sir?
Did your voice change?
Area.
So clear in my throat. Sorry, it's the sound.
I see. Well, good to bump into you. And he kind of shuffles off again.
Yeah.
You guys make your way into the shop proper, and it is very much...
Kita! Psst, Kita!
What?
Was he cute?
I don't know. DM, was he cute?
He was cute in the farm boy sense.
We should go after him! We have new priorities! And I'm gonna turn and start walking in the direction I think he went.
All of a sudden, you are doing this, and all of a sudden, you end up doing this. You just turned contortionism into something very different. Are you going to do anything, Kita?
I'm going to straighten out.
Which way did he go?
I correct my sister to go the way that I thought I saw him go because she's not going to give up now.
As you start walking in that direction, you do kind of catch up as you come to another side street that hangs to the left, and you see him about 60 feet down the road talking to somebody on a cart.
The two dogs into a flamethrower and runs through the keyboard.
Which way, Kita?
This way.
Woo, we have a nat 20, thank you.
Alright. Who wants to keep track of those?
Oh.
I can if no one else will.
Ken.
I got it.
Got it?
Got it.
Got it.
Which way, Kita? Get his name. Tell him, if you don't like him, tell him you got a sister.
I'll need a D6 from everybody again.
A D6?
Yep.
Cool.
Anybody get one?
Yeah.
You know, Nina, you keep shifting to your right.
Sorry.
I keep adjusting the screen to catch you, and you keep shifting to the right.
Now start shifting to the left just to mess with them.
Right?
Right.
So as you make your way down the hallway, I need, in this situation, I need a dexterity save from you and a strength save from your sister.
Halfling luck. Do we have a no-nat one? Good. I was just asking. It was a 7, but for a second I thought it was a 1 and I panicked.
Alright, so I got a 7 from you.
No, 12 total because it's a dex save.
Okay.
Oh, and mine's a strength save.
Yeah?
Oh no.
Till all the halflings fall.
What'd you get?
That would be a 6.
A 6.
Oh no.
Alright. So as you make your way down this alleyway or a side street to head toward the cart, your sister, Katie, has an obscene amount of vigor in how fast she wants to get to meet this farm boy and just starts moving. But because your sister can't see what's going on around without you, and you're trying so hard to keep balance at this time, you miss the fact that there are some kids that come bolting out of an alleyway to your left and cause your sister to trip a bit. And as your sister trips a bit and loses her balance, she starts falling forward and to the left. Momentum being what it is, causes you to start falling backward to the right.
Oh.
Neither of you being able to save yourselves from this motion as you tumble to the ground in a heap underneath the robes. And there is a scream. A woman
Oh no!
screaming in terror as she just watched a human break in half when she tripped over some kids.
Whoops.
It's okay, this happens sometimes.
And the screaming doesn't seem to quiet down as now the feet are talking to her.
We should probably leave now.
Yeah, I think we're gonna, scoot out of the way as quickly as possible.
Make for the alley?
Duck back into the alley.
Yep.
Roll me one more acrobatics or dexterity save, either one.
I'm not using it.
Not you.
Oh, 15.
Katie, I want it. 15? Okay. You can extricate yourself from the robes rather easily. As when your sister fell, you are covered in robes. You can extricate yourself from the robes fairly easily. And now you have a human-looking halfling and a halfling running from a pair of robes down an alleyway. A very familiar alleyway, as this is the one that you used to try and break in and save Ash behind the hookah shop.
This is what happens when I try and find love.
Well, if you hadn't gotten so excited.
You could have told me he was ugly. Just saying.
That much over
I'm sorry, the mic broke up. I couldn't hear you.
Huh?
I'm getting bad reception over here. My halfling ears are kind of ringing. So yes, you guys are now behind the hookah shop in the alley that you had used earlier to save Ash. If you recall, there's a doorway around the side that you used to sneak in. Or look through the window.
I think maybe we should just go back around front. What do you think?
Yes. Probably.
Alright, act nonchalant. Let's go. Be cool. Be cool. Don't know what these sandals are laced with, but we've been tripping all day and that didn't help.
So as you guys make your way around the front, you can see guards rushing past the hookah shop toward the side road that you guys were just in. And you hear a hysteric woman.
Oops. I'm gonna make sure my disguise has fallen.
Okay.
So hopefully they don't recognize us.
Okay.
Now in those.
Is there any way I can like adjust my robes or like quickly change my hair over to make it look like a little different?
Yeah, you do a little bit to make yourself look a bit different. As you make your way into the hookah shop proper, it looks very much similar to when you last were there. And the man behind the counter is indeed the Master of Whispers that you remember.
Perfect.
He looks over the counter at the two of you, and you see a little glisten in his eyes as he looks down and goes, "Ah, welcome. It's been a while since I've seen you.
Yes.
And how fared the exploration that I sent you on?"
Well, we didn't really find anything down in the catacombs. But then we left the city.
I'm aware of that.
And then we thought, what did we find? We found this, what did we find? Katie, help.
We ended up doing quite a bit of traveling, but we brought back some treasure for you, and we're looking for some information as well.
Well, depending on the treasure that you have found, it may loosen my lips quite a bit.
And
Let's
I was
take a
counting
look.
on my sister's good looks to do that.
Let's take a look at what you have. Please follow me in back.
I will keep an eye out as we follow him.
There
Luke,
is,
phone boy, fetch me that picture.
as you wish, there's
Aww,
one face.
right?
There's one face in the hookah shop that you recognize from the last time you were there, and he just gives you guys a passing glance.
I need to leave more often.
And then you guys are you walking in back with him?
Yes,
Okay.
but I'm keeping an eye to make sure like no one's doing something super hinky behind us.
Hey, Krabby, you be nice.
And as you make your way into that back room, again, the only thing that you see from any of the patrons out front is the one guy you saw the last time you were there, who goes, nothing else. You go into the back room, and it's not the same room that Ash was in. This is a different one. And in this room, you see shelves lining floor to ceiling, carrying different things on there. You see parchments, you see small cases, you see small chests, large chests, and urns, pots, bottles, all sorts of things, containers, books, and you see gems, silver, gold, just a smattering of a whole bunch of different stuff, and none of it seems as though it belongs to another, although it all seems to be local from this area. And in the center of the room is a large table, again covered in a smattering of different things, and a scale, some small vials with liquid in them, and a pile of coin that's about 6 inches tall. You watch as the Master of Whispers scoots some stuff to the side so there's an open spot on the table. All right, let's see what it is that you offer for treasure.
No,
Okay.
Tita?
Hold on. Sorry, resituating because now I have to touch myself.
Oh, your lack of luck and mine too, Ront.
Oh, hey, I won. And magic bust.
Mark that down.
Yep.
I will pull out the 2 ancient ritual books that I have.
And you watch as he takes and slides these really thin gloves over his hands. Grabs one of the ancient books, opens it up, and one of the vials that he's got next to him, you see as he pinches an eyedropper and puts a couple of drops on the parchment in front of you.
What are you doing?
Oh, just watch. And as he does this, you watch as the parchment starts to turn from the slightly yellow-white color to a darker orange-brown, and then into a sepia brown.
Okay.
He thumbs through a little bit, does it again, and you watch as it turns the same colors. Thumbs through about 3 or 4 more times and does this. And when he finishes, he just closes the book, scoots it to the side, grabs the next book, opens it up, and when he does this, you watch as the liquid hits it, and instead of finally turning to that sepia brown, it turns black.
Oh.
In the spot that it was dropped on. And that was on the first page. He doesn't even thumb at all through anything else. He just closes the book and he scoots it to the opposite side of the table. Puts the dropper down, takes the gloves off. Well, you have brought me one fine treasure, and you have brought me a book. Unfortunately, that one, and he points to the one that turned black, that one appears as though it was crafted very, very recently.
Okay.
That one appears to be quite ancient.
Oh.
I mean, given that I have very, as we've talked before, extremely limited knowledge of this land, I wasn't sure if there was, and I'm not able to read the language, so.
Do not fear. I do not take it personally. I do not believe that you are trying to deceive me. I am just letting you know. Are there any other treasures that you have brought to me?
Depends on if you can give us any information.
Well,
We owed you a treasure and we brought you a treasure. Now we seek to continue this mutually beneficial relationship.
right. And have you brought me any other treasures?
Well, Kita, have we?
I'm going to pull out my,
Doesn't work.
the gold bar that I'm carrying. I believe I have shoes. I have the toilet.
Huh. Well, not so much a treasure, but it could prove useful.
And I have the one of Tourette, and I'll pull mine out.
Oh, so you have 2. Outstanding. Well, unfortunately they're of little use to me, though they are treasures in a sense.
What?
Go ahead and put those back to whence they came. And
Back in the boot pocket.
he grabs the ritual book, the one that he said was ancient, and kind of thumbs through it a bit, and he'll stop at a couple pages. Finally sets it down. Well, I tell you what, this ritual book, I do believe I can find a buyer for it. And he may offer a pretty penny. So, what I will do here, I'll open the floor. What questions do you have?
What information do you have about the followers of Set and their journey to resurrect him?
That's a very open question. What are you looking to find out?
How many? Is there a limit on how many questions we can ask?
I'll answer what I can, and I'll let you know if I won't answer.
That's fair, I guess. We were at the monastery and it was attacked again. we ran into, and I'm gonna explain the entire encounter at the monastery, from the monks being mind controlled to the fight with the deity, and Grug is our champion, and we're looking for those who absconded. And it's my fear that the Sultan is going to be under the same control that befell the Shifu at the monastery.
I see.
Which side are you on?
Mine.
Ah,
Whether the Sultan is mind controlled by them or not, as long as I am capable of making coin.
I mean, I see his point. That's fair.
I do too. But do you know anything of their plans, or where they're headed, or
How long have they been in the city?
the evil bad people that are trying to resurrect Set? Are they how does one resurrect Set? How do they know where to start and what to do?
Now, you've given me a question that I can answer. Well, much like this book, there are ancient tomes, scrolls, etc., that may give the information as to how to bring back a deity. And I'm sure that these followers of Set must have done a lot of work to acquire the information to give them said ritual. Do I have the details? No, I'm not a follower of Set. I tend to believe myself above anything of that nature. I am my ruler. I don't need some god telling me what to do.
You'll be single forever then, huh? Something I've noticed, people in relationships one tends to just never mind. You didn't happen to see a cute farm boy in here earlier, did you?
Yeah, do you know his name? Where can we find him?
That was close.
The farm boy's name is none of your business. If you're out to do some journey to stop the resurrection of a god, I'm not sure a farm boy is going to be much help.
A single grain of rice can tip the scale. Maybe he'll be so inspired by our beauty, and he'll want to save the world, and he'll become a hero. Could happen. Just saying. Anyway, followers are set. Right.
And I'm still waiting on a question.
How long have the followers of Set been in the city?
They have been in the city for the better part of 4 moons.
Okay.
They have not been openly present in the city for more than about, how long has it been? 4 or 5 days. Something has happened to shift their belief, and they do not feel the need to be...
Discreet?
That's a good word for it.
That would have been just after the time that we were at the monastery, wouldn't it?
I believe so.
So about the time that they would have, whoever left the monastery would have reached the city more than likely. Because weren't they on like flying carpet or something?
Yeah, we believe so.
Oh. You were following them.
Well,
If you can get me their flying carpet, that would be fantastic. And I believe, mayhaps, finding them may also garner you more information on what they're doing.
Then it sounds
It's
like
a
it's
win-win for both of us.
I agree. It sounds like a whole new world.
No, the world is going to stay the same.
Thank you. So, where did they go that we can go and retrieve this carpet?
Well,
And does it need to match the drapes?
I believe...
If we turn it into a bag, is it like a Mary Poppins bag?
It'd be a carpet bag.
It'd be a carpet bag, so does that mean we can pull out the lamp out of it?
If we steal their carpet, are we pulling the rug out from underneath them? Sorry, as you were saying.
Well, I believe that if you head to the western side of the city, you will find that there is an estate. This estate seems to be difficult to enter. I've tried to have my boys join to infiltrate. However, they seem to be very cautious about anybody entering. Even children who need assistance have been turned away.
Is there a disguise we could use?
I don't know. My children have been turned away, and they know many different tricks. And it seems as well that getting into the sewers has proven to be a bit difficult as well.
Really?
My boys, well, my children, are very adept, and I've had a few of them come back and say that getting through the sewers appears to be more dangerous than they wish to try. Not that they can't, but that there are dangers.
Like monster dangers, or
I did not inquire. I'm more worried of their safety. They are my children, of course.
that's actually admirable. Is there a way you could inquire as to the type of danger so we might know what to expect if we go down there?
The boys would know.
Do you wish us to question them?
Oh, I'll ask, but I would suggest maybe your own reconnaissance might be worthwhile too.
We already know how to get down there, so...
Right. Well, maybe we should head back unless there's any information that you think would help us get you this, flying carpet.
I only know as much as I have told you at this moment. I will see if maybe I can get a floor plan, but we generally don't archive those things.
I see. Well, thank you. You've been helpful. I feel like we made the right decision in trading information.
As towards the Sultan, I'll see if my boys can't find some information there too.
It would be appreciated. And the farm boy's name? It was worth a try. And I'll kind of just grin.
Maybe if you find yourself not running around trying to save the world from a deity being resurrected, I can assist in finding his information for you.
Someone once
Oh
said
yeah, yeah,
that
how tall was he? What color were his eyes and hair? Because I got a pretty good birth.
He is roughly 5'10". He has short, blonde brown hair, and he has dark brown eyes and slightly pouty lips.
Ooh. He does sound pretty cute.
I don't know, the pouty lips kind of
So now that you have this information, what would you like to do?
Maybe we should head back to the palace.
That might be a good idea. Krabby, I will fight you. I will.
I don't know, Krabby. You might have to share. Alright, well, I guess we'll head back then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to try and reassemble a disguise and borrow a sheet and head back the way we came? Or do we just want to walk as we are?
We might just want to walk as we are.
Alright, well let's get back quickly then, as it's fairly late, I imagine.
It's only been about an hour or so.
Okay. Well, I mean, you said, right, but you said we were going to turn in for the evening, so.
Yeah. It's not too terribly late. It is much past supper time, though. So you guys are heading back to the Sultan's palace. As you make your way to the Sultan's palace, and you enter the garden, you are met by a couple of guards who look at you very curiously. We didn't see you leave.
Yes, you did. We even waved at you. Please
Let us know your passings, just so that we can be wary of your safety. You seem to be quite... The Sultan seems to be quite fond of you.
Absolutely. Sorry for any trouble. I was craving pickles. And we'll head back.
Oh yeah, by the way, Gabs, bread and butter pickles, that's all you. That does not come from my household, by the way. Like, at all.
I'll message Allie.
Okay.
So you guys make your way into your chambers again, and it appears that Jeffrey and Ash have not left their rooms.
I would turn in for the evening.
I'm gonna go take another bath after, falling face first into the dust and...
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Do you tell me this?
Sure.
I'll take a bath too.
So you guys find yourself in the baths again. Fairly quiet at this point in time, as it is late. There are only a couple of people in there, and they seem to be very much keeping to themselves. As a matter of fact, when you guys walk in, they tend to be having a very hushed conversation that gets even more hushed as you approach.
Can I try and... Do I catch any of the words?
Roll me a perception.
A 6 or 9. It's only 14.
No. With the sound of water on top of their voices, it's not that... you cannot make out words. You just know that they're talking very hushed, and they got more quiet when you walked in.
An idea. Can I hear? Maybe?
Yeah. Is Ash off talking to her parents?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I passed as a 14.
Okay. So yeah, you can't make out what's being said. It's just... It is odd, though, that they got quiet when you approached.
Maybe they're talking about us.
I'll, smile and wave. Hello!
There's a curt nod given to the both of you.
They don't seem very, friendly. Kind of sad.
I'm gonna look at Kita and kind of do this wink to see if she'll catch on. Did you see that odd symbol that man was wearing? And my voice is gonna be just a little louder than usual. I wonder what it means. It was kind of pretty. And I'm gonna start describing the symbol of Omet. And I want to see if there's any reaction on the faces of the...
They seem to be doing their best to ignore your conversation.
Yeah, now that you say something, I saw another one, except for it looked like, like a turtle. And I will describe shoe.
It's, now that you mention it, I feel like since we came back to the city, I've been seeing a lot of this jewelry. I wonder if it's a new fad going on or a fashion statement. I'm trying to not look like I'm watching them for a reaction.
And again, they seem to be doing their very best to ignore what's happening.
Okay. I'm gonna just kind of half shrug covertly at my sister and finish my bath.
Same.
Mm.
It's so weird not being able to see Gabs as she talks.
Right?
I know. I wish there was a way I could fix that.
I mean, I could come sit in your lap.
You could. That wasn't an agreement. That wasn't me saying yes, you can now.
Yeah, I know. That's alright. I'll sit in Chat's lap.
Alright, so the rest of the evening goes by without much more incident, unless you guys want to do anything.
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Hooray for the cheers!
Yeah, not that I can think of anything else as far as things go.
Okay. So the next morning rolls around.
Mm-hmm.
Ash, Jeffrey, you two sisters, Grug, you're all in your rooms resting when the sun rises.
Well, kind of rises.
When the sun resets.
More or less.
When the sun, oh, I can't talk. When the sun bounces.
Right.
Wait. So when the sun goes back to the other side, do we hear a rewinding sound?
No, you hear a small bell.
Oh.
Do we really? I got excited for a minute. Not nice.
So yes, next morning rolls around. There's nothing that you guys know of that is pressing or urgent.
I'm gonna go check on Ash and Grug and Jeffrey and see how they slept and...
Yeah, I think maybe start seeing if they want to go check out the catacombs again to get down into the sewers, maybe?
Or should we just hang around because I thought the Sultan was gonna potentially speak with us again.
Oh, yeah, maybe. We can do that then. Hey, go
Or we could be smart and question the gods.
What is up with the Grouch Couch?
Hey, Grouch Couch! The Grouch Couch is plotting their, surrender speech.
Nah, not surrender speech. They're just gonna have to suffer the indignity. Granted, I still like the fact that potentially we're gonna lose somebody in the first round.
I don't know. I'm really excited to see the Grouch Couch's results, like probably more than anybody else's, just because of all the shenanigans. I want to know. So when it's all over, I want to see what...
Hey, Ron, do you know why the French have a white section of their flag in the middle?
Why?
So that way when they go to battle, they can just fold their flag into thirds and then wave a white flag.
Oh!
That's kind of brutal.
You need to send that to Twisted.
Alright.
That was from one of my high school history teachers, and he absolutely hates having to teach French history, and we were doing world history, so it was very interesting learning about like the French Revolution, and yeah.
Interesting. Alright,
So,
well...
everybody seems to be in their rooms just fine.
Okay, what... Do we just want to lounge for the day then and see? Or, I mean, at some point I'd like to speak with one of the gods and see if they've noticed an increase in this jewelry. And, ask, is it... when it's become so popular and if they can give me any information on it.
Alright, so as you're speaking to the one guard, he makes very... I've seen them more recently as of late, but I wouldn't say that it's something popular. It's like... I believe that it's just a new group of people that have started to come into the city and have been trying to make their home here.
Ah, so it's a tribal mocking of sorts then?
I'm not sure. I don't know much information about it, only that we've just been noticing it more often in the past few days.
You don't suspect anything nefarious, do you?
I've not seen any reason to.
Okay, good. Okay, then I'll just meander back to everyone else, see if they have found anything.
And that was the guard that you saw down the hallway from where you're bedded.
Okay. I mean, servants, guards, they overhear things that other people don't realize, because especially nobility, I feel like, would get in the habit of talking as if they're not even present, especially in a culture where slaves and everything are overlooked. So questioning them might get us more information? Thoughts?
I agree.
Are you having this discussion with people, or are you having
Yes.
this discussion in your mind?
No, I'm having this discussion with my sister and Jeffrey Toebiter and the burnt out elf and the oiled orc.
And the oiled orc?
The oiled orc. Unless the oiled orc is off doing some like secret mission or
At the
missing
moment,
her.
he's just kind of relaxing in his chambers.
Lazy orc.
Getting very stuffed.
Just like you guys are relaxing in your chambers.
Lazy halflings.
If you guys can start to hear my dogs roughhousing, please let me know and I'll go yell at them.
I can't hear anything.
Okay.
I'll say something if I do. Trust
We had
me.
been separated for a couple days. We think Rusty has like arthritis or something.
Oh, baby.
Because when the weather changes, he starts limping. So just kept them separated so he doesn't aggravate it. But so now they're going crazy because they can actually like play together.
Oh, baby.
Poor thing.
Okay, but I don't know, maybe which one of us should have, maybe Ash. Ash is probably the least strange of all of us. Maybe Ash should be the one to approach the servants.
That might not be a bad idea.
However, at the moment in real life, Ash is a bit distracted.
Right,
Yes.
so that's I'm wondering what can we do in the meantime, or do we want to in like 10 minutes break early to give Ash a chance to come back?
That might not be a bad idea.
Or you guys can think of something that you want to do with the three of you.
Jeffrey, what do you want to do?
I don't know, stuff.
There's
There's been a lot of grapes in here.
And cheeses
I have a
and
tummy
meats.
ache and I'm laying in the bed going, oh my lord.
What did we learn?
I ate too much. Oh.
You know what? We should go on an adventure to find Jeffrey some, like, licorice tea or antacids.
Yeah, because I mean, if you eat too many seeded grapes, that can cause some.
Oh, you mean you're not supposed to eat the seeds?
Well, you are. You're just not supposed to eat too many because it causes your stomach to be upset.
No, no,
Oh, tummy ache.
Or,
Jumping on the bed probably didn't help either.
probably not.
Right. You just because you're following in Grug's footsteps doesn't mean you should eat like Grug.
I know, but grapes are so good.
Maybe you should stay in bed then. Oh, do we want to... Maybe going for a walk would help. We could walk by this estate and just stroll past and see if we see anything suspicious. Thoughts?
that sounds like a good idea. What estate?
Where the estate is.
There was a big house that looked pretty, and so we think we should walk by it. Right, Kita?
Yes. Yes, right.
Okay, I follow you.
Yay! Okay, so we're gonna go for a walk. That's our new plan, DM.
Alright, so you guys decide to go for a walk about town. And as you do you remember what side of town you're going to?
The west, because west sides make the best stories.
Mm.
And yes, that's totally how I remembered that.
Mm-hmm.
You are a dork.
You love me for it.
So you guys make your way around out of the Sultan's palace, and as you walk through the gate, there are 2 guards standing there. Both of them look down. Enjoy your day.
Thank you. We're just gonna take a stroll around town and find something for the poor goblin's stomach. He ate too many grapes.
Mm.
Way too many grapes.
Good luck with that.
Thank you. Yeah, so we start heading towards the west side of town.
As you start making your way around to that side of town, one of the first things that you notice is that this side of town is most definitely a residential area. And it is filled with quite a number of homes. But most of the homes are pretty plain.
Okay.
So finding this estate that was being spoken about is actually quite easy, as it is the only one that has an exorbitant amount of plants and other features about it that show affluence. You start to walk up and you see that there are sculptures. You start to see that there are walkways, and unlike the Sultan's palace, there is no greenery, there are no plants, there's nothing like that. Instead, the affluence is shown by architecture and carvings and sculptures and things of that nature. It's a decently large place, covering about 4 acres.
Okay.
And it is a 3-story estate, built much similar. It's almost like a mini Sultan's palace. Somebody seems to be trying their best to imitate the palace without overstepping their bounds.
Gotcha.
And as you continue to walk by, you also notice that there are easily a dozen somewhat armed and armored people walking the grounds.
Do they look like men-at-arms or like an actual guard, like a townhouse guard?
They look like about a dozen people dressed with light armor and arms.
Gotcha. Well, maybe we should inquire about their beautiful architecture, Kita. What do you think?
Are there any good vantage points that would be covered, like hidden?
The only vantage points that you can see immediately would be rooftops on single-story homes.
Is there anything that my sister could use for cover to sneak closer and...
No. The grounds are fenced off, and again, it's about 4 acres worth of land, with the house fairly well, not centered, but definitely placed to where you would have to walk some of the grounds to get to the house.
Gotcha. There's enough of a courtyard we couldn't, like, sneak up on it are you at drawing?
I'm fairly adept at drawing, I believe.
I have an idea. What if we approached to see if we could gain audience, because you, being the traveling artist that you are, would like to sketch some of their sculptures with the goblin by it to, for goblins' rights or some such nonsense.
What you doing on your phone?
Watching chat. I hear goblin rights are all the rage these days. Thoughts?
Lisa!
Crabby. Jeffrey, what do you think? Do you think you could pose pretty like the statues?
Sure.
That's our plan, DM. We're gonna walk up and ask to draw the statues.
All right.
Okay. This is
So
happening.
as you make your way around the estate, you do find yourself in front of a large archway that has two people standing out front. Both of them just casually watching you as you approach.
Since my sister's the more diplomatic of the two of us, I'm gonna give her the lead on this one.
Oh boy. I will approach one of the guards. Good afternoon, or good morning. It's good morning. Yes, it is morning.
That's not how we start this.
I understand your confusion, but yes, it's morning.
It is a little off-putting with the sun always being out. Who would I have to talk to about potentially maybe being allowed to get close to some of the architecture? I am a traveling artist, and I would very much like to sketch some of the statues that I can see through the gates.
Do you have an audience with the master of the house?
How do I get an audience with the master of the house?
No, that's what we're seeking. This is my sister, and this is her assistant, and she's very generous with her artwork. If someone allows her to sketch something of theirs, she typically makes a copy for them as well.
You would need an audience with the master of the house. How do you get one? By talking to the master of the house. You can't enter the grounds without permission from the master of the house.
Well, could we send him a missive then?
That sounds like a good idea.
I'm sure the Sultan could procure us a missive. My sister is his esteemed guest.
That's good to hear.
However, these statues are quite lovely.
They're statues.
Have you no eye for beauty, no appreciation for art, good
I'm
sir?
standing in front of the gate, stopping people from walking into the grounds. Art is not the biggest thing on my mind.
What is on your mind then?
And I rolled a 1, good sir. I'm sorry. What is on my mind? Getting out of this stifling heat.
Understandable. Well, we will send a missive forthwith. What name should we put on this missive? Can hardly send a missive to the master of the house if we don't know his name, now can we?
Well, if you're friends with the Sultan, then he will have the name, won't he?
And might I ask your name as well?
You might. I do not see why it's important.
Well, it may be of absolutely no importance, or it could be the name that is asked for when we find that. Is it really too much trouble to go speak to the master of the house right now and let him know that he has potential visitors?
My post is here at the gate.
I don't see a post, just a gate.
I'm going to, like...
I'm a bit of a jokester.
It's not the first time I've heard that.
Okay, well...
And it wasn't funny the second time I heard it.
You're
Or the
smiling.
third.
You're
Or
smiling.
the 27th.
We were Sultan.
Alright, we leave and go back to the palace.
Yes, the advantage is still in play.
Yes, DM advantages. We also have a no nat 1, a nat 20, and a magic burst.
So, you guys are heading back to the palace?
Unless my sister or Jeffrey want to do otherwise, yes.
Do either of you two have something you want to do?
Not that I can think of.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
I'll follow them. I'm feeling a little better. Thank you for the walk.
You're welcome. And I'm gonna scratch Jeffrey behind his backwoods ear because
That's my favorite spot.
Thank you for that.
mine too.
Behind the backwards ear?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a backwards ear. So you guys making your way across town, find yourself back at the Sultan's palace. And what would you like to do there?
See if there is any standing orders from the Sultan. Otherwise, I would like to inquire as if there to see how we would go about finding who the master of that estate is. I mean,
Okay.
surely someone other than the Sultan himself would know. Maybe there's a registrar or something of that nature.
Those are good thoughts.
I ring the bell!
Okay. So you ring the bell and one of the servants shows up. How may I help you?
We are looking to write a missive to the master of the large estate over on the west side of town. How can I find out who to address it to?
I will get you that.
Thank you, that is all. Just that and some ink and parchment.
Very well.
Do you know if the Sultan's going to see us today or it will be a couple days?
That's a good question.
I do not know the Sultan's business.
Maybe we should find that out instead of just sitting and waiting. Otherwise, I'm gonna eat more grapes.
That's not a bad plan. I don't want to rush him either, as you know he is ruling a country. So my thought is, if he doesn't get back to us today, then we inquire.
Okay.
But maybe under the guise of, you know, we don't want to miss your summons, so.
We have stuff to do, but we don't want to miss your summons, so if you could let us know if it's going to be today or not, then we can go do what we need to do.
Yes.
You know, Jeffrey's kind of smart sometimes.
Jeffrey's really smart sometimes.
I'm learning. Katie and Kita are good teachers.
Aww.
We're stealing Greg's goblin. He's gonna come back and we're gonna be like, yeah, you don't have a goblin no more.
I mean, that's kind of his...
I'm my goblin.
This is true. We haven't had to use the leash in a while.
Right?
Alright,
Yep.
yeah, I guess I'm gonna take a nap then.
You're gonna take a nap and you've only been wandering around for about an hour? Or a couple hours?
No, I guess you know what, some grapes juice. I'm gonna eat some grapes.
Although, Joe, we aren't used to this type of heat. So it would make sense that,
We should take a
longer. mean, we are getting used to the heat because it's, you know, we've been here a couple months, I think, but you know.
Yeah, you guys are pretty. I mean, you guys
Yeah,
are
but
making do with it.
At some point, hot's just flipping hot.
This is true.
Well, I guess I'll wait for this person to get back with the information, and then what is the name that's on this? What's the name? What's the quest? What's the favorite color? I mean...
You're not sure yet. The servant hasn't returned.
Oh. Well, maybe we could split up and talk to some of the household staff, the servants, the maids, and see if they've heard anything or noticed anything strange with the jewelry.
And what do you two think?
We're gonna go. You want to go talk to the servants?
Yeah.
Oh, you said? Yeah. Let's do
I
that.
don't think I should go alone. Most of the people think goblins are slaves.
We'll
Well, that actually might work in our favor.
Right, but you can't. If I go, I don't want to be a slave.
Right, but you could, if you pretend, people might say things in front of you that they usually wouldn't. Heck, technically, most women are slaves. Oh, darn! We'll have to go undercover as slaves and wear collars and do menial tasks for gratuitous head pats. Oh no! What a horrible plan!
That plan coming from the woman who got crazy mad when she saw the slave caravans?
Maybe that's why I like her so much, because she doesn't like slaves.
But this is true, and I'm not saying I agree with it, but if it's a way to get information.
It is.
Kita, thoughts?
She's talking.
She got stuff
You
stuck
caught her
in
while
her
she had a
chicken.
bite in her mouth.
Damn grapes are sticky.
I know, right?
Oh, you.
How's the food?
I need to just. I'm putting the candy away on the break because this isn't good.
You can bring it over here.
No, I've been okay. I haven't been terrible.
You know, I like this. I summon Krabby to flirt with the farm boy and get information.
Okay.
But no!
He's got pouty lips. You two can fight over him. I prefer firmer.
You prefer what?
Firmer.
She doesn't like kisses from me right now, though, because I'm prickly.
Oh, they hurt. He's so pokey. It's like kissing a chinchilla.
No,
Because your
chinchillas
ears
are
are going
soft.
back.
It's like kissing a backwards porcupine.
Oh. Hey, chinchillas are super soft.
They are.
And yes, Ront, don't you?
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Ron asked a question that was probably not the right one. So, are you guys going to go about this idea of pretending to be slaves? Or servants? Or whatever?
I'm happy I didn't roll twos all night, just only half the night. Yeah, let's go talk to some servants.
Okay.
And how are you guys going to make yourselves appear to be servants?
Do we just want to go talk to them, or do we want to disguise ourselves as that?
Why don't you go talk to him and maybe I can go a little further off, but not too far off, and maybe I can hear things while you're talking to other people. Not that I'm very perceptive, but
It's not a bad idea.
because I am a slave, so maybe I won't stick out as much.
We need... Well...
He's got you there.
Well, cats might, but just saying.
All right. And how are you going to go about this, Kira?
Oh boy.
Don't you have your hat? Couldn't you make yourself a slave? Look like a slave?
I could do that. I can make myself look like a slave.
And if anything goes wrong, just tell him you belong to me, and I'll get you back.
All right.
I like this idea. Let's do it.
It sounds awkward, but okay.
Okay.
I also want to get a little anklet with bells. So I can keep track of it better. Well, no, because not if you need to sneak around. Never mind. No cute little ankle bells for you.
Let's not put bells on someone who's trying to be sneaky.
Yeah.
That's kind of like anti-sneaky. That's what you do to cats when you want to know where they're stealthing too.
So,
I want cute little ankle bells.
are you going to go as a group or are you going to split up?
I think we should split up. No one's here to stop us. Let's do it.
Yeah. I agree.
So, we will do it this way. That's for one. This is for the other. And this is for the third. So, we will start with the not slave. And who are you going to approach?
I'm trying not to pout. I think I'll head down to the kitchens.
Okay.
And I will, I am going to make sure to see if I can speak with any of the chefs or kitchen staff and thank them for the wonderful quality of food that we've been getting.
So you make your way into
Use it as a segue for small
you
talk.
make your way into the kitchen, and you see 8 people in there working. All of them preparing foodstuffs, and they are in not so much in a frenzy, but they're definitely in a zone.
Gotcha.
And as you kind of take a couple of steps in to the kitchen proper, you watch as people are moving around you as if water flowing around a rock. None of them paying you any mind.
Do they all have like the slave collars? Or
No.
do any of them have the slave collars?
No.
I'm going to get back out of their way and just watch for a moment.
Okay. You see...
See if there's a lull or if it's just a constant...
You watch for about 2-3 minutes, and it is a constant amount of movement. And you notice that there are many different foods being made. You recognize some trays being put together. You recognize some trays being put together, like the trays that you got in your rooms. You recognize some trays being put together that are actual meals. So it's there's a lot of different things going on, and each of the different cooks, chefs, or preparers are doing something different. And once a tray is put together, that's when you see somebody else come in and shuffle off with it out one of the doors on the other side of the room.
I am going to wait till someone shuffles off with a tray and then catch them on the return before they get back into the kitchen.
Okay, how?
I'm going to follow them a little ways when they leave and then wait for them to come back.
Right. And as they come back, he starts to walk around.
Excuse me.
What?
I just wanted to say thank you for the wonderful service we've been receiving, and these trays have been wonderful.
Thank you. And he starts to walk.
I wondered if you'd seen anything. I've seen a lot of people with these necklaces coming out. I'll describe it. Have you seen anyone else with them that I might
Yeah, quite
inquire
a few
with?
people.
What Any idea where they are getting them from? They seem quite lovely.
Probably from their rooms where they're staying.
Well, I mean, yes, but they must have purchased or commissioned
I really
them.
don't have the time. I have food to get out and prep.
My apologies. On your way. Hope the other two are having better luck than me.
Alright, so we will jump to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna ring the bell.
Okay.
Dang it! Stupid smart goblin! Dang it!
Alright, Jeffrey.
I'm getting more morning potion.
Can you grab me
No, I can't.
one of the Linsers, please? Or
One of
two.
the what?
Chocolate.
Yeah.
One or two of those. So you ring the bell, and as you do, you see a young servant you hear a knock on the door. And as you open it, there is a young servant standing at the door. Hello?
Hello. I was wondering if you could bring me some towel for the bath.
Well, the towels are already provided in the bath. We have a rack right outside your door.
Yeah. How about some more grapes?
I could definitely...
There's not any in this room. I ate them all. I know they're gone.
Where to? Which one do you want?
I can definitely do that. I'll be right back.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Those really pretty shiny things that everyone has around their necks, where do you know about those? Like those I see a lot of people with those shiny things.
Actually, yeah, I've noticed a bunch of them as well. There's
Is it normal?
I don't know about normal. I've just recently been seeing them around people, around some people's necks.
Are they all different kinds of people? I mean, is it something that only like high up people can have, or can someone like me have one?
Well, I've never seen any of the servants wearing one. I wouldn't expect that you would be able to get one. I've only seen it on the guests of the palace.
Have you had a lot more guests recently?
Yes, actually we have. Within the past few days, we've seen quite the influx.
Do you know why? I'm sure that makes a lot more work for you.
Oh, it definitely does make a lot more work for us. Most of them seem to be very full of themselves.
Oh,
Just
that sucks. I'm so sorry.
Don't say I said that.
Oh, I won't tell anyone.
I appreciate that. But
have you heard anything strange coming from these people? Like, are they just rude, or are they saying some?
They kind of scare me, so I don't stick around.
Okay.
But they are, like I said, they are fairly new. It's only been about a week that I've seen many of them here. And it was all when the advisor was appointed that I started to really see them.
Huh. So the advisor's new too? He wasn't with the Sultan before?
No, the advisor has only been around for about a month.
Is it weird to have the Sultan to have a new advisor?
He never had one like that before. The only advisor he had was his military advisor.
He seemed like a wise man. It seems weird that he would have asked for help.
Well, yeah, this is true. But who am I to question what the Sultan does?
Oh, I understand that. I would never question. I was just curious. Because I really like those shiny things.
Well, I'm not sure I like them so much. If all the people wearing them are mean.
That's true. Maybe the shiny things are like name tags. These people are mean.
Huh. You know, that's a neat idea. Maybe Maybe the different gods tell us how mean they are. Oh, I shouldn't think like that. Let me go grab your grapes. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I'll be right back with your grapes.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Jeffrey Toebiter.
Give that goblin some grapes.
And that leads us to Kita.
Yeah.
How are you going to go about this now that you are disguised as a slave?
I am going to head for the laundry rooms.
Oh, okay. Roll me an intelligence.
Intelligence?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. That is not my strong suit. I bet you it's better than mine. 10?
10?
Yeah.
Actually, that's not too bad. It does take you a little bit longer than you want to get to the laundry room, as you're trying to get there without asking directions because you are a slave.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
But
do that again?
you are a slave. And you eventually see one of the other servants with what looks to be laundry follow them back, and you do indeed get your way to the laundry room. And
Okay.
you see close to 16 different people in there working on laundry. And you can hear the low drone of all of them chit-chatting with themselves and having their various conversations even before you walk in the room. There's laughter, there's the sound of sardonic humor. You can hear all the different no slave Leia outfits. But you hear all the different things like you wouldn't have
Ron.
like you wouldn't a break room.
Behave.
You hear the different types of conversations even though you're not hearing the words.
I am going to have the sheet that my sister and I used the night before
Okay.
with me as I need to get new sheets for my master.
Okay. So you walk in and you can see the different piles of dirty clothes, clean clothes, folded clothes, sorting clothes, all that types of stuff going on. You see the bedding, the linens, etc. All laid out, different people working on different things. And there doesn't really seem to be a major rush going on in here, but they are definitely staying busy.
Okay, I will bring the sheets that I have over to the obviously dirty pile of linens.
Yep.
And I will look for the nearest slave
Okay.
that doesn't look like they're too busy or caught up in conversation.
Not too far from where you're standing, you see someone sorting through different clothing, separating them into their different types.
Excuse me.
Oh, you're new. When did you get here?
I'm actually the slave of one of the Sultan's guests.
Oh, how did you get stuck doing laundry work then?
My master needs new sheets.
Yes, but how did you get stuck doing laundry work? Normally you just have one of us come grab them. Did you piss your owner off?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, well, how'd you piss her off? Piss him off. How'd you piss them off? Him or her?
Her.
Okay. How'd you piss her off?
Well, you see, I'm sort of the reason that the sheets were dirty.
Say no more, say no more.
How'd you manage that? What? Never mind. Not a big deal. What do you need? What? How can I help you?
I need new sheets.
The rack is right over there. Go grab whatever you need.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. If you don't mind me asking,
Huh? What? Huh?
have any of you heard anything about the other visitors that are here?
And as soon as you say that, you watch this strange look across this person's face, and almost like a snake darting out of a basket, her hand covers your mouth. I don't think it's wise to be speaking so loud about that kind of thing here. And she says that in a hushed tone.
I will mumble an apology against her hand.
How about I help you take your linens back to your room? As she walks over to the linen rack, kind of pushing you along a little bit, starts grabbing linens and stuffing them in your hands and grabs a handful herself. So, show me to your room, I'll help you make the bed. And starts walking you out. And as you leave the room, who's your master?
The halfling, Katie.
Oh, you're part of that group. Okay. And then starts walking down one of the back hallways, and you get far enough to where that drone of the room starts to fade away. So why are you inquiring about that group?
Well, they really seem to have my master on edge, and I may have accidentally overheard a few of them talking about
Hey, Miss Fatal Pillow.
acquired for.
And another magic burst.
Oh, good. Well, what is it that you want to know?
Who are they?
Well,
What are they like, I guess?
Check your phone, Sam. Sorry.
How about you let them play their characters?
What was that?
Didn't have anything to.
I know that they're the servants of Set. I've heard so much being said. I'm not sure what their purpose is here in the city, but I do know that they have all but infiltrated the entire palace. All of a sudden they're taking up all of the guest rooms. They're always hanging about the Sultan or the captain of the guards. They've got their noses in everything, acting like they're these uppity-up scholars or something. There's something about them that just smells funny.
I see.
And it's not a wise thing, from what I've seen, to speak ill of them to where any of their ears might be.
Thanks,
I have
Grabby.
a sneaking suspicion that at least some of our servants have been replaced by theirs.
I see.
You don't know this.
I don't, but I have an idea.
That does, I suppose, make a lot of sense. It is a significant difference from the last time we were here at the palace.
How long ago has it been since you were here?
DM, remind me, it was about 2 months ago? It was a couple months.
That's not a bad guess.
Okay. It's been a couple months, I'm sorry, it's been harder for me to keep track of days with the auditing and such.
Oh, that's understandable. I'd say it's been right about a month that all of this has been going on, and it is just the weirdest thing. I mean, I used to be able to spend time speaking with the Sultan, and now it seems that he's become very withdrawn and recluse.
You used to be able to speak with the Sultan.
Oh yes, I was... I would almost call myself his handmaiden if I was the type to brag.
And now he's been withdrawn. It seems like there's more of these people around him, aren't there?
They have definitely come out of the woodwork. I did not realize there were so many. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've seen their emblems and symbols when I've gone through the rooms to clean them, but I did not realize that there were so many.
I mean, they seemed to, when we were coming through the city, it seemed like they were everywhere.
I'm quite afraid that there might be a coup.
I see.
Though, the few times that I do get the chance to speak to the Sultan, he seems quite relieved when it is just he and I.
That is very troublesome news indeed.
And about this time, you make your way back to the room and you see Jeffrey in the room.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I should get to making the bed. Yes. And you notice that all of a sudden her entire demeanor shifts to slightly upon seeing Jeffrey in the room. Honey.
Yeah. Sorry. I had to start dinner for them.
I was not picking my nose.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
So with that, actually I just saw the time here. With that, you notice that her attitude changes slightly when she sees Jeffrey. And she starts to become very much, I have to do my work type attitude. And we're going to take that and head to break for a minute, as I'm hungry and we should probably stretch our legs. So we will be back in about 20 minutes, half an hour, and we'll see what happens with Jeffrey Toebiter, Kita the possibly slave, and this lady who seems to know a lot more because she was potentially the handmaiden of the Sultan.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find out more when we get back from break.
See you guys in a bit.
Thanks, guys. What did they do?
Alright, and welcome back everybody. We had a slightly longer break than normal, but we're here. And we are Dragons in the Dining Room. We are playing Sand and Magic. And we have our entire party, with the exception of Ash, pretending to be slaves trying to gather information. When we left off,
Not a slave.
Kita, in her disguise, was talking about the strange folks in the city to a woman who claimed to be the lead handmaiden to the Sultan himself. And when they entered the room that Kita is housed in, the conversation came to an abrupt halt as
Kiara, can you close the dog's door?
she noticed Jeffrey in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And the tone of conversation changed quite a bit. As she went, I think I should get the bed made, so I'll get to it. And she starts to strip the rest of the bedding and goes to start making it.
Mm-hmm.
Did I see the tone change?
Roll me an insight.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Nope.
What'd you get?
4.
4? Yeah. Nope.
My passive's 10.
Yeah, your passive's 10?
Yeah.
You noticed something, but you can't put your finger on it?
Okay.
I will thank her and let her know that, you know, I can handle it from here.
Oh.
Seeing she's obviously not very comfortable with Jeffrey.
Of course. And she leans over and whispers in your ear, Is that one of the slaves as well? Oh. I was one face off, Twiz. That 20 almost landed on it. It went, tink. Yay, the name change worked and you're teal now. So yes, she whispers in your ear, is that one of your slaves?
He's kind of a slave. He's more of a pet.
A pet, oh. Okay, hey Kaden, it might be a little bit early. Usually
hear
it's
me.
closer to 8.
You've been feeding him at 8?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, if that's the case,
He
then
didn't hear you.
can we still speak freely?
Yes, we can speak freely in front of Jeffrey.
Okay, well, so, Jeffrey is your name? Well, well met, Jeffrey, I suppose. Oh, and then this. Yes, he is a pet, not a slave.
And no, not Jeffrey Donald.
Right, not Jeffrey.
No.
So, as I was trying to say, it's just odd. Everything in the Sultan's palace has changed quite a bit since these people have shown up, and I really don't understand. Hands out of your pocket. I really don't understand what's going on, but I do fear that maybe there's a coup in the works.
Perhaps I can speak to my master to see. Maybe we can keep an eye out.
Well, it has been
I
different.
will do.
How would you keep an eye out?
For any other whispers? Well, you're out then, I suppose. Would you happen to know anything about an estate on the west side of town?
I do not. I spend all of my time here.
I see. Okay.
There's not much reason for me to leave. I have everything I need here.
That's fair.
Is there anything else that I'm needed for or that I can help with?
No, you've been most helpful.
I see. Well, I would suggest being very careful with whom you speak to, as you don't want to raise any alarm. I will make my way back to the laundry room. Please take care of yourselves.
Thank you. You as well.
And she wanders off.
Huh?
You are still in the kitchen, Katie?
Yes. Well, no, I would have headed back to my room after that.
Okay. So shortly after this conversation, Katie walks into the room. And Kita just left the room, of course.
Getting food and switching the dog. She said she'll be right back.
Okay. So you see your sister and Jeffrey in the room.
Oh, so what did you two learn? Anything?
That the people who wear those things are mean.
Okay. Anything else?
And that there's been a lot more of them, but they all seem to be the uppity, snooty people, not the down to earth people.
Ah, that in itself may be a hint if they're overstepping their bounds, perhaps. Anything else that stuck out to you, Jeffrey?
Well, I heard the last part of the conversation that Kate and that the Sultan seems to be very not himself.
He seems to be not himself. In what way did she say?
He seems very withdrawn.
Your sister's back.
As she put it, if she were the Browning type, she would consider herself his handmaid.
Ah. So she has his ear then.
Huh?
She has his ear then.
Yes, and it seems that as of late there has been less time where they have not been surrounded by these newcomers.
So who are these newcomers to the Sultan then? I mean,
Not even to the Sultan, there's a lot of newcomers to the city.
Right, but I mean, why is the Sultan allowing it? What value or what use are these newcomers to the Sultan?
I don't know, did she say something about them being, that he doesn't appear to, he feels uncomfortable to, or something?
Right, he seems to be...
So what you're saying is does it seem like these people are having an influence on the Sultan is what I'm asking.
Yes. But it doesn't... He was worried that they might end up staging a coup.
Ah.
She's worried that there might be a coup de grace.
So, these people, what else did you find out, Kita?
He also said that to be very careful who you're asking of, as she believes that perhaps some of the normal palace slaves and servants have been replaced with slaves and servants of these newcomers. So I think we need to tread very lightly in this situation.
I have an idea. Yeah, Twiz, we've been trying to give Ron scales all day. He's almost as stubborn as my left toe.
Wait, why did it work for Twisted but didn't work for me?
Well, Ron gave it back. Or tried to.
He did, but it didn't work.
Because everything works for Twisted, apparently.
That's
But
right.
here's my thought. If they already think you're slaves, what's the harm in you maybe remaining my slave, and I could potentially go, just hear me out, go speak to one of these people and see if they're interested in buying you. I won't actually sell you, but maybe get some information.
But this doesn't sound like every older sibling ever.
Hey, you get to be the slave. Deal with it. Unless you really want to trade places.
Not particularly.
Of course not. Wait. Ash. Because he's an elf and he's a male and they seem to have more respect. We could both be pretend to be slaves and have Ash go have the conversation.
He really wants to be a slave of Set.
No. It just, I like the idea of being, this is gonna sound wrong, undercover, incognito, find a word.
Maybe we should go wake up Ash and ask.
Yeah, what's he been up to anyway?
Ash has been in his room last you knew.
Well, let's go find him. Maybe he's doing that weird elf thing.
Okay, we're gonna go find Ash.
Ash, there is a fevered pounding on your door from what sounds like a dozen hands.
And he's thinking that again. He's not answering the door. You didn't give him a chance. The door. I'm gonna get up and open the door. Take the green bean casserole away.
As you open the door, you see both Katie and Kita doing this on the door at the same time.
Ash, 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 ash.
I was with two. Just a little lower.
Yeah. Well, there's a bit of a situation. Let's go inside and talk.
I'm gonna open the door wider and just for them to come in. They're very sarcastic. On it?
Alright, so here's where it is. The two of them pretended to be slaves and go get information. I went down to the kitchen to try and get information, and I'm going to summarize everything we learned. Or wait, I have to actually explain it because she was gone, don't I?
Because I wasn't here.
Yes, you will have to summarize it for her.
Right. So, from what I understand, we know that there may be some ancient tomes or scrolls that these followers of Set are using to try and resurrect him. That they are, the people who are wearing these symbols of Set are all angry. They are collars probably somewhere in there. I see no collars.
We're explaining things.
Sorry, I got sidetracked. It's Chad's fault.
You don't have to pay attention to Chad.
The people that are wearing these symbols are very not nice and cruel, and there's potentially a hierarchy based on the symbol on the symbols. Like, one of the symbols means they're, instead of voop, voop, huh, they're symbols. I wasn't sure if you caught that. Also, it sounds like they're making little to no secret about being servants of Set, and the Sultan's advisor is one of these followers of Set, and the Sultan seems discomfited with this, and the Sultan's own handmaiden has been displaced, and servants are starting to be replaced with the followers of Set. So we were thinking that these two, not me, because apparently there's issues there, could pretend to be slaves, and you could go try to sell them to these servants of Set and get information that way, but not actually sell them because supposedly they're people too. I think that sums it up.
Wait, who are supposedly people too?
You and Jeffrey.
People too. Only supposedly.
No, I said you're people too.
You said supposedly they're people too.
Oh, I misspoke. Adopted people are people too.
I'm not adopted.
Well, no, but Kita is. But what we're thinking is if you go talk to them because you're a man and they seem to value that more, you may be able to get some more information, or perhaps have curiosities about becoming a follower of Set yourself. I love your sign. But there's we're talking about subterfuge sneaky thingies.
Interfuge?
Subterfuge. You know, like sneaky, under the table sort of things.
Interfuge. Oh my goodness.
Which clip did he throw up there now?
The new one. You're not.
Really? That's. I must look at this.
Yeah, no, Krabby, that was actually from back before we even started streaming.
Yep.
You had different, Miss Loxy had different ways to describe the different rankings of guards as a background, as a belt, one across the chest, and the one with the spear with the one across the chest. Which is why she did all.
But you knew what I was talking about.
Without even seeing you, I knew what you were talking about.
Wait, you can't see me? Why can't they see me? Don't they have chat?
Look at Twitch. We cannot see you on the.
Oh, copy, Roger.
So, yeah,
I am apparently in seclusion and in shame upon returning from my
We're
adventures.
social distancing even on Twitch.
well, it's just, for me, it's really hard to watch it on Twitch because there's the delay.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's how I'm seeing you guys. But it's, as long as you can hear me and you can just imagine what I'm doing. Like, with the descriptive and the shapes and the mimery. Is that a word? Is mimery a word, you guys?
Oh boy.
Mimery should be a word.
You've been home for not even 48 hours. We've already broken your house.
Not yet, but the plans are in the making.
You should have seen us last night, Arian. It was.
So let me get this straight.
There was a teacup and a paintbrush.
There was a teacup and a paintbrush and some shenanigans, and apparently dryer sheets does not work. Just in case anyone wondered.
We know, Krabby Patty, I'm the blonde here. Except that this light really makes my hair look brunette.
As you're trying to say, Ash?
So let me get this straight. You want me to pretend to be the master, and then go try and sell you guys to somebody to get in, and also gather information at the same time?
Yes.
Hey, out of character, part of me doesn't even want to do that just because I'm so freaking lost. Because I missed an hour.
Actually, she summed it up to you pretty good.
It's still...
Well, there was grapes, too. You did miss the grapes, and it was of kind of importance, but not really.
The fun part about this, though, Ash...
Ate too many grapes.
The fun part about this, Ash... That's your decision to make with the information you have. Because technically half of this information you wouldn't know anyhow.
This is true.
Right? Considering that you never told any of us about your trip to the dude.
Yeah, we didn't mention that at all. So, but that's an interesting thought is, I also learned that there may be a stronghold or a base of some sort over on the west side of town for these folks, but we need to write a missive to the master of the house to I'll go answer the door. Hello?
And as you answer the door, a familiar young lady is standing there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you kindly.
As you requested.
Thank you. Have a great day.
She wanders off.
Actually, hold on. I did have one other question.
Yeah, yes.
You servants are so well mannered and prompt. Is there some sort of reward you can get? Like, are we allowed to tip you coin, or...
As long as you don't speak ill of us, we are just fine. If you speak ill of us, we get punished.
It seems like there should be more of a balance there.
We have everything we need here.
Fair enough. Well,
if we do not do as we are requested, and we are spoken ill of, then things get taken away.
no one here will speak ill of your service. It is commendable. Good girl.
Will there be anything else?
No, thank you.
She starts to wander. And as you take a look at what she gave you a quill, ink, sand, parchment, and a on part of the parchment that you were given, the name of Alveric is already written on there.
Alverit? Can you spell that, please?
A-L''Verit.
Is there a last name?
No. But
Right.
the little bit that you guys have been catching on to, Alverit, is the surname.
Ah. I mean, we walked by this estate earlier, and it seemed odd, so I made some inquiries, and it's potentially a stronghold for the followers of Set. So I figured if we wrote him and requested an audience, we might have told him that my sister was a traveling artist and was trying to pose with wanted Jeffrey to pose with the statues so she could draw them. Makes perfect sense. Right?
Right. You can think it's right. Wait, that's why.
So, but my thought is, as a male, you'd have a better chance in the society of getting information.
And we can help you.
Yes, but you also forget, I may be male, but I'm also weird looking to these people.
Well, to be fair, you're weird looking to everyone, and that doesn't stop you. That was supposed to be encouraging, was it not?
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
I'm getting a look.
Well, what can you do but try? So, otherwise we have to have some sort of plan.
You said something earlier about the sewers and maybe going in the other way. Through the catacombs?
Yeah, Kita, you were saying something about that.
That might not be a bad route to take instead.
Shouldn't we try civilized avenues first?
We can try.
I mean, if you said there's a lady that wants to paint Jeffrey next to statues.
Yeah, Kita.
Kita,
Yeah.
Paint you?
Yeah.
no, paint. She wants to paint me.
But that's our excuse to get near this house to, scope it out and see if it's a stronghold. We can't get through the doors without an audience to the master of the house. So, under the guise of, hey, she's an artist, your sculptures are amazing.
Do we know how many slaves could possibly be in that stronghold?
Not a clue. That's why we need to get in there and scout it out. We could get Kita to go in there and be all like, buy me, master! And then he'll be like, oh, what a lovely slave. And he'll take her in and she'll gain his confidence and scope out the entirety of it. And then we'll know everything.
like a much longer con than I'm comfortable with.
The long cons are the best cons. Look at marriage. Not ours, of course, but you know, other people's.
I'm so glad I'm not right now with that look.
What look?
The look Joe just gave. See, I love you, but really?
He's amused because he's the one conning me.
So,
I put this ring on her finger and she cooks and cleans for me.
actually, the cooking and cleaning part is your decision.
Love you. Well, yeah, that's how I keep from murdering people.
So,
Exactly.
out of character, I'm honestly trying to just gather the information and just process it. The letter that, or the envelope that's in your hand that is addressed to, what's his name?
Over it.
Yes. He's connected to that stronghold.
Yes, he's the master of the house. So my thought is, if we write him a missive, and it would just be, from what I understand, it would be polite to entertain us, especially since we're someone with standings of esteemed guests of the Sultan. And the estate itself looked very much like someone was trying to mimic the architecture of the palace itself.
I don't think we should change our ruse though if we were already there and seen as being the artist. I don't think the slavery thing is going to go over well.
Well, no, that's why we can combine a little bit of the ruses. My sister's an artist, yes, but perhaps, gods forbid, she lost a bet, and because of this wager, she is temporarily my slave. You're a goblin, no one's gonna question it. You're totally free, Jeffrey, but some people aren't going to see it that way, and it ends up helping our story.
And when was the last time you knew me to lose a wager?
I grew up with you. I'm quite familiar with your ability to gamble, or lack thereof.
About this. The missive is me requesting an audience to do business involving selling my slaves and an art piece from the artist that I also own.
Ooh!
That way it combines all of them.
All right. I will script this. Actually, I'm gonna ask Grug if he will script the missive, as he is fluent in the hand of this land, and I am not quite as well versed in Old Common.
Old Common is not used very often.
Okay.
Does it make sense to me to do a business missive asking for an audience, possibly having the artist that I currently own do a commission piece and also sell another possible slave to them? That way it's portraying more than just one business deal.
Yes.
Okay, so how are you going to write up this missive? Yeah, I'm actually going to make you think this through.
To the master of the house, Ulvirate. Do I actually have to write this out? Of course.
You don't have to write it out. I just want to know what you're writing.
That while strolling the city, the love of his life spied some architecture she fancied, and he is compelled to request at over its earliest convenience that we be allowed to take some artful drawings of the sculpture and perhaps some business ventures, as they are both men of means. I got this. I don't got this. Guys, help.
I'm just having fun watching the train wreck.
You just called me a train wreck.
She is your adopted
He's very
sister.
uncomfortable. He doesn't like this idea.
Let's see you guys pull this off.
That's what scares Jeffrey.
The assistant master of the household. I would like to do business with you pertaining to art pieces, possible words merged into verbiages. I just had it too. My brain is mush. You can do this.
Oh yeah, what if there's a grape shortage, Jeffrey?
Oh, I'm gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
Business dealings pertaining to that of the arts and that of the servants. I quite admire your architecture and the artistry done with. Are you laughing at what?
Nothing.
And the artistry that went into building this magnificent architecture. My artist that is under my employment would love to do it. Would you stop laughing? The artist under my employment would love to do drawings and sketches of your building so that we may do something very similar when we return home. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of right now.
Okay.
It's actually really good. You got this.
Yeah,
At least no one's calling you a frickin' train wreck.
that's all just me talking about that. But it basically just requesting an audience, just the basics of like requesting an audience, hoping to do some business dealings, and possibly have just an enjoyable conversation.
I'm not helping. I'm a train wreck.
I'm enjoying this.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure I want to be a part of this, because I mean there is a slight possibility I could get sold to somebody.
Well, we're just going to discuss selling you, not actually sell you. Yet.
It would be much sweeter if it was more than one female being sold.
Where are we gonna find another one?
And I'm gonna be looking right at you.
Hashtag not a slave.
You want me part of this ruse? You're gonna have to go along with it as well.
Fine. But I'm not wearing one of them damned collars.
Oh, I
You
think
were
you'd
just asking me to wear a cooler.
I think you'd look beautiful in it.
Ow.
He's just got that. I've just got that Cheshire grin on my face.
All right. So, is there anything else you want to put in this missive?
Nope.
You're not the one writing it anymore.
Crabby, you ass. Not a cat. something at the camera, and then I realized I couldn't, and it wouldn't actually hit Krabby. Oh, that hurt.
All right.
We just need to send him an envelope of glitter.
Oh God, glitter bomb.
Glitter bomb.
I honestly can't think of anything
All right.
else.
So you guys pen this letter, and you are sending that off. Yes, that is now 2. And send this letter off. You're not sure how long it will take for this to get responded to. What would you guys like to do while you wait?
Lounge in the baths.
You know, actually, I would like to walk around the palace, you know, sticking to common areas and such, and see if I can catch any conversations.
Okay.
It's my plan for the baths. Lounge around and listen.
Okay. Ash?
Are there gardens connected to this palace?
One more time, I didn't catch that.
Is there does the Sultan have his a garden?
Oh yes, there's gardens all over the place around the palace.
Okay, I would like to actually go walk through the gardens if I'm allowed to.
Okay.
And just constantly be asking Devanas for help with the whole shit show that I'm a part of right now.
Right?
Help me get out of here in one piece, please.
And Jeffrey, what would you like to do?
I'm going to stand for many grapes.
Again, okay. So you go hop in the baths, and the baths are, again, not very frequent. There's very few people in there. Now this is the 3rd time you've been in the baths at different times of day, and the baths have been fairly quiet.
Very odd.
I'm just gonna lounge in there for a while and just watch and wait and see if it stays.
Okay.
She's just turned into a prune.
Right? Well, she doesn't necessarily have to be in the water.
Oh,
Kita, as you're wandering around common areas and just pacing the halls, roll me a perception. Well, what's your passive first?
Passive is 14.
14?
Yeah.
Okay. And then give me a roll as well.
Hopefully I roll better than a 2. I rolled better than a 2. I rolled a 4. So it's a total of 8, or a passive of 14.
Okay. So 14 it is. Hello, Elros.
Greetings.
So as you're wandering these halls, you do hear the occasional conversation here and there. Most of it is casual. Most of it is just passing conversation about different things that are everyday topics. Nothing seems out of the ordinary for the most part. And then, wow, I cannot spell. Apparently that's not how it works.
Hey, Suni.
Yeah, hello, Sunny. There is one time you walk around a corner and you catch a conversation in the middle of it, and just before it's cut short, as they notice you're in there, you do hear briefly some conversation about, and you're not quite sure how it's meant, but you hear, and if we can get the shipment in soon enough, it's possible that we might be able to speed up the,
Oh, no, they're not 20.
And they kind of look at you side-eyed.
And I'm trying to, like, look like I'm just, walking around.
And as long as you're there, they both kind of, they kind of try and find a way to leave without looking conspicuous. You can tell as much. There's some nervousness about their faces. And then they kind of try to walk away.
I'm going to continue on and, like, turn a corner.
Okay.
And is there any place for me to hide?
Go ahead and roll a stealth.
Really? Halfling luck.
Not much better.
I rolled a 1. Then I rolled a 3. So that's a total of 14.
So, as you do that, you swing around the corner, and there is not much for hiding, but there is a small alcove that can be used as a sitting area.
Okay.
And you can draw a somewhat translucent curtain across. It doesn't allow to see in or out, but it doesn't necessarily hide the fact that somebody's there either.
So it's like a shower curtain?
More or less.
Okay.
And as you do this, moments later, you hear footsteps as you hear a couple of different footsteps walking down the hallway, and you hear somebody clear their throat. You can't really see anything from your vantage, but you hear somebody clear their throat, and there's silence. And then you hear conversation strike up again, but it's at a distance that you cannot make out noise. However, you are fairly certain it's the same voices you walked in on earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And they're now in the hallway I'm in, or?
They walked perpendicular to you. So they're technically walking away from you now.
Let's see. Oh, I'm a dingus. I'm going to use my newly acquired instrument, and I'm going to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay.
I'm a bard. If only there was a bard in the party.
All right. So you cast invisibility on yourself. And yeah, roll me percentile.
Percentile?
Yes, please.
Oh boy. Are you okay? That's 7 out of 1. 72.
Okay. You are lucky enough that the area you are in is carpeted as well.
Okay.
as opposed to some of the other floors that are marble. So you sneak out, and you are invisible, and your footfalls are muffled by the carpeting. And I take
advantage on stealth?
What's that?
Would I get advantage on stealth because I'm invisible?
No. Because you still have to try and hide the fact that you're making noise.
Fair. Try not to breathe too loudly.
However, you do have advantage because you're walking on carpeting.
Do I have advantage?
Because you're walking on carpeting, yes.
Are you kidding me? That was not that much better.
Aww.
17!
I gotta double check something here.
Oh boy.
Right?
That's not good.
Nope.
Oh, it could be.
Oh. Yeah, that does bring up a question though, Joe. Does using my flute to cast one of the flute spells, or my lute to cast one of the lute spells, does that cause magic to go off?
No, because it is the instrument casting the spell, not you.
Okay, so it's being treated like a divine smite expenditure type thing?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Where is it?
Where's what?
What I'm looking for.
The loot?
No.
I
Probably
can't
the...
help you because I don't know what you're looking for.
I found it. I'm just not happy with what it's telling me.
Uh-oh.
Not.
Oh, okay. You are capable of sneaking around, and neither of them notice you. I rolled a 16 for one of the perceptions on one of the creatures. You're lucky because they don't have a wisdom bonus.
Yes!
And as you start following behind them, there is conversation struck up again once they get probably about 40, once they get around another corner from where your little alcove was.
Yep.
Conversation strikes up again. And you hear the one gentleman talking to the other. As I was saying, if we can get that shipment into the city and we can get the Sultan to work with us, we would have enough supplies to actually potentially start working on that last symbol to get the next mark of Set created. And the other gentleman, well, I know that the Sultan's been kind of difficult to convince to give us what we're looking for, but maybe we can just steal it from him. I mean, we did just get 4 more into the city and they have the flying carpet. Maybe they could just sneak in and steal it that way. Ooh, that's a good idea. We'll have to head back and talk to the master. See what he thinks. And the conversation kind of degrades from there into just normal talk about what they want to do, if they're going to visit the hookah shop, what restaurant they're going to go visit.
Okay. I'm going to spend the rest of the time that invisibility is active. Let me double check. So it's for an hour. So I'm going to take the rest of that hour to continue my wanderings
Okay.
and see if I pick up on any other conversations.
Okay. So we'll cut from there for a moment and go to Ash, who is wandering the gardens. And what are you doing out there?
Pretty much getting my thoughts together and just cursing myself and for agreeing to this, and cursing Katie and Kita for getting me into this. Praying to Chivanash for any guidance at this point.
Guidance for what?
For like how best to go about this.
Okay.
It's a lot of it is processing information and trying to be like, okay, I can be charismatic. I can do this.
So you're giving yourself a pep talk?
Pretty much, and it's pretty much the, I hate to say this, but my brother is better at this than I am. Not by much, but he is. And just the, how did I get myself into all of this mess?
Okay. And as you're in the bath, watching people coming in and out, there seems to be a different atmosphere in the bathhouse. The first time that you were ever here, it was a place of commingling and people just chilling, having fun, chit-chatting, and bathing.
It's jovial, hence my encounter.
Not so much jovial as more of a place of gathering.
Gotcha.
And it no longer feels like that. It feels like the bathhouse has become utilitarian.
Oh.
It's a place to take a bath now. It's a place to, okay, I've had a rough day. I'm going to find my corner. I'm going to sit in the waters, let the day wear off of me, and you watch as people do. They'll come in, they'll sit in the waters, and they'll spend 10, 15 minutes sitting in the waters. They'll get up, dry off, and go back to their rooms. There's very little commingling going on anymore. It literally feels like people are no longer meeting here.
Is there a bath attendant that comes in at any point to replace towels? Or?
You see various slaves walking in and out, yes.
I would like to inquire of one of them. Have you noticed that it seems much less busy here as of late?
Oh, yes. There's not as many people attending the bathhouse as there was.
Why is that?
Well, it appears that a lot of people have found too many ears when they're in here talking.
Too many ears. Oh, people eavesdropping.
Well, I mean, this place does have quite the acoustics in the first place, but I've heard the grumblings from a few that their private conversations have not been so private.
Who would be... Does it matter if... I mean, unless someone's doing something dishonest, why should they fear being overheard?
Well, I'm sure that if you were discussing business meetings, you wouldn't want other people knowing about your business. Hello, Twiz.
Oh, I suppose that does make sense. Well... Does that make your job easier, then?
Quite. I don't have to come in here and replace as many of the linens.
Have you... I've noticed there's been more guests in the palace as of recently.
There have, yes.
Do you know if any of them are interested in purchasing slaves one member of my party is looking to
Another
sell.
magic burst. Sell slaves?
Yes.
We don't do that kind of business here. That one. Most of the slave trade is done in the city proper.
I will have
There's
to let him know, as I'm sure you're aware, we're not fully accustomed to what is proper and what is not here.
I am not aware of that.
Oh, we're not from around here.
Okay.
These visitors seem... Do you know their purpose here? I'm trying to see if there's any way we can conduct business or have
It is not my place to inquire as to why one is here or not.
No, but as a slave, I'm sure you overhear things.
I
Maybe you could
overhear
give me some insight?
quite a bit. But then again, the bathhouse has had too many ears.
And I'm sure some of those ears have been yours.
Again,
Have they not?
it's not my place.
No, but if you were to tell me what you overheard, I could...
The bathhouse has too many ears.
Thank you so much. I will check out that place to eat. I'm going to... Could I have you bring some fresh towels to my room?
Of course.
I'm assuming that they meant they were worried about someone else and they're overhearing our conversation.
You can assume whatever you want.
That usually gets me in trouble with you. And then once they bring towels to the room, I will...
It's not give, it's add.
It was working for me with add though. Like I've literally tried it like every way possible.
Oh, number, then name.
Without or no?
No.
So when they bring towels to my room, then I'm going to ask if
Okay.
that
so you're
was
going
indeed
to,
the case.
You're going to retire to your room and wait for the linens?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, I'm not sure why it's not working.
That's because Thaco likes him.
No?
Everyone agrees with that. Alright, well, I'm just gonna go back to my room then and wait for the elf to sell the halflings into slavery, I guess. But no collars.
Worked for me. Bard in the North, Kita, as you make your way through the hallways, you do not run across any more conversations like this. You do, however, run across a group of 4 gentlemen talking in not so hushed tones about the slave market and how they can't wait to go visit at the end of the day, at the end of the week, and see what new merchandise might be up on the block.
So there should be a new slave shipment being brought in then.
Oh my gosh! All the connections!
Okay.
And we'll say that it's getting near the end of your hour.
Then I will head back to our respective rooms.
Okay. Ash, you've spent about a half an hour wandering around the gardens contemplating different things. You have not heard anything from your deity. Is there anything else you would be trying to do while you're out there?
Is there anybody else walking around the gardens that I can hear?
There are a number of different people, yes.
Can I hear any of their, am I close enough to hear any of their conversation?
Yes, you do overhear some conversations. Most of the conversations are um, relatively benign,
Okay.
as they're talking about foodstuffs and um, oh, what the heck?
What's up?
Oh, this is just being silly. There we go. They're talking about different foodstuffs. They're talking about different flours. They're commenting on how it is that someone can have all of these flowers when the sun never sets, and that they should be wilting because of all of this. And they're very curious as to what it is the Sultan does to make it so these plants don't wilt and die. Roll me a perception.
18.
Say again?
18.
All right. As you're wandering, heading back to your room, there's a moment where you pass by what looks to be two robed gentlemen. One of them has their golden emblem brazenly displayed, and they're talking amongst themselves with the slave standing right there. And it appears that they haven't noticed you. As you walk by, you overhear the three of them talking. I believe that the warehouse should be secure. And we've gotten 3 wagons in there already. All we have to do is get them sent off to camp, and we should be able to get everything melted down for the symbol. And that comes from the voice of the servant. The two robed gentlemen, both nodding their heads.
Bless you.
Thank you. The two robed gentlemen nod their heads, and one of them, that's good news. I believe we should be able to get some sort of donation from the Sultan. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure the advisor has something in his back pocket that might force his hand. The third one, I hope it doesn't come to that. It gets so messy when we have to make people do what we need to, but sometimes it can be fun.
Oh my.
And then there's a brief pause as they all kind of just, it's that conversation lull that happens. And then one of the gentlemen looks up and sees you, and he's like, oh, please, go fetch us some wine. We are parched and would like to spend more time here in the garden. The slave-looking one looks over his shoulder. As you wish. And he starts to wander off.
I want to look at them and nod. And how are you enjoying these gardens?
It is a miracle that they stay as healthy as they are. We are definitely going to have to learn what the Sultan does to make this happen. It would be wonderful to have gardens in more places than this.
It is definitely a curiosity. I have never seen flowers bloom in terrain like this before.
That is very true.
Then again, I am not necessarily from here. Where do you come from?
Well, I hail from quite far to the northwest, and my companion here hails from the west itself. You?
Unfortunately, I'm not even from around anywhere near here. As you can see, I don't exactly fit in.
No, there are quite a number in this city that aren't quite from around here. It's not that we're ones to judge.
So what brings you to the palace?
We have business to attend to. Trade deals. Why do you ask?
Her face.
Simple, idle conversation.
Much as we would like to have this idle conversation, we should probably get back to drawing up our deal with the Sultan. Your name?
Jocelyn.
I am Seymour.
Pleasure
And my
to meet
friend here is Lynette.
Just taking notes, don't mind me.
I wish you a good day. Enjoy the gardens.
You as well.
As he starts to wander.
And I'm gonna continue wandering the way I was going.
Okay.
Like, logging away that information I just heard.
Right. And we'll say about an hour passes and you all find yourselves back in your rooms. Or in one room if you guys decide to meet up.
I think we should converge.
And Ron finally gets his fireball. Let's see if it goes off. Are you the lucky one to blow up the players, Ron?
Probably.
Actually, no.
Oh.
Not this time. But there
How
is a
close
DM
is it?
advantage, so let's
There is?
use DM advantage. No. I'm sorry, Ron. Not this time.
But what if chat demands it?
Chat can demand it all it wants. The dice decide.
That could be fun.
All right. So you are all in your room. You have had your different conversations and experiences, and you are gathered to discuss them. Jeffrey, having not been there, and is once again eating grapes.
We had that discussion, Twiz. Thaco put a stop to it.
I didn't put a stop to it. I said that the nat 20 is used for combat rolls, not for the not for the fireball.
My mistake. So are we all sharing information back and forth with each other then?
Yes.
So we know that they are forging or crafting a symbol of Set. They have 3 wagon loads of something already in a secure warehouse, and there's a shipment of slaves coming in. So is it possible that they are just overrunning the city and replacing everyone who's not one of theirs with one of theirs, and that's how they're going to convince the Sultan to give them what they need?
And I almost wonder if the reason why they're bringing in a bunch of slaves is to use whatever gold that they're getting for the slaves to be melted into these symbols.
Well, here's my other thought. What if they're doing what we're doing? What if their slaves aren't really slaves?
Well, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, and I would have mentioned that the quote-unquote slave
Yeah. Quote,
was talking just as just as much as a part of the conversation as the other two. And that when they noticed me, they told him to go get water and he kind of scrambled like, oh crap, yeah, that's my job.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know. Is it unheard of to act like a slave when necessary, but really have another purpose? I mean, it's the ruse that we're pulling off, is it not?
It is a tactic.
And it's been a good one so far.
Yep.
So here's our... Well, I just lost Katie's voice. Here's the thought then. What do we tell the Sultan?
Wouldn't it be hard to tell the Sultan get his ear privately though? If
I think we could get a private ear with him if we requested it. At the very least, I think we should warn his handmaiden and get her somewhere safe.
And as you guys are chit-chatting, you hear a tap on the door.
Oh, that is a good point.
Yes.
And there's a young man with linens,
Ah, thank you.
as you requested.
And is it the same one from the baths?
Ooh, tacos. Twisty needs to stop mentioning tacos, because I want tacos now.
Wait, who said tacos? I want tacos.
Twisted did, of course he did.
Of course it's Twisted. We should talk about it.
Twisted.
I will taco time out.
You know what? I'm not going to say anything else to him. I'm just going to take the linens and thank you.
And he bows himself out of the room.
Before we start talking, I want to make sure he is out of earshot.
That's a thought. Do we think that we're being listened in on?
Like once we know he is out of earshot, I would whisper, guys, are you sure that handmaiden is originally from here and not one of the ones that they brought in? Do we know for sure? Because if they're bringing other slaves in, who's to say that there are people coming in that we haven't seen?
Can I make an intelligence check or something to see if I recall seeing her from before?
I'll allow it.
Because who's to say that even the people that we've talked to have not been a part of this?
This is my dragon breath, or as my party likes to call it, my cloud of lies.
Yes. That's an intelligence check. It's just, if you let me use wisdom, that's... Oh wait, that's still a 15, never mind.
With that 15 intelligence check, roll with advantage.
I got one lower.
You got one lower. Okay. Yay! So with that intelligence check, you do indeed recall seeing that woman in the palace previously.
Okay, I'm fairly certain I remember her being around when we were here the last time.
Okay. That makes this a little bit easier then.
But with what you said, they were talking about something to make the Sultan do, make him.
His vizier might have something up his sleeve to make the Sultan do what they want.
So they need something from the Sultan. It sounds like they're trying to forge or create something to summon Set, like it's pieces of a puzzle, perhaps?
Would it make sense that maybe the thing that they would have to control the Sultan, do you think that they could be potentially thinking to hurt the handmaiden? Because the way she spoke, it sounded as if they were
Close?
as close as a Sultan and slave can be.
After seeing the culture here, I'm pretty sure that's kind of close, in a biblical sense. I mean...
It sounds like they know each other biblically, yes.
Our emotions, and those people have said that they have something up their sleeve to get him to agree to anything. We need to keep an eye on not only her, but also especially the vizier. Because
I think...
who has it.
Well, they said the Sultan's being difficult, so he's not in on. We should maybe warn. We can either watch it happen, try to go undercover, or warn the Sultan and his handmaiden. Ex-handmaiden. Handmaiden once removed.
What was that?
Nothing. Train wreck. Train wreck. It's my new safe word.
I just wonder if it would be potentially easier to try and protect the handmaiden, because she already at least seems to trust me.
Could we buy her?
I don't think we have enough money to buy her.
And if
No. And for her own safety.
But if her and the Sultan are as close as we're thinking they are, would he agree to that?
If it meant keeping her safe and he loved her, yes.
We would have to make her danger, that she's in danger then.
If he loves her, he won't risk it.
Well, then our
I want you to take it away from me.
No! No!
Who let you two sit by each other?
Yeah.
This is Isaiah's fault.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna watch for a minute and let this happen.
Don't need it.
Dragons After Dark.
It's not cheating if you think that I know.
Dragons After Dark.
So yes, you guys have all of these plans. What are you guys going to do?
What are we going to do?
And
Honestly,
I think a private conversation, if we knew there was no ears to the Sultan, would be good. Because if he's putting up a fight, kind of, then he might be able to put us in a place to be able to help.
do we want
I agree.
to use the handmaiden to get close to him? Like, talk to her first, see if we can get his ear alone with just the two of them.
But she said she was having a hard time getting to him alone as well.
Which makes me think, how are we gonna get him alone?
By request, last time we were all in the room together, I asked for his ear privately, and everyone else left, remember?
Would the vizier actually allow that this time?
He's a vizier, not the Sultan.
True.
Right, but if the Sultan is putting up appearances to a master plan we don't know about.
Well, why don't we do both? We request an audience with the Sultan, and Kita speaks with the handmaiden, and we see which avenue works out first. Why not both, in the words of Krabby?
Makes sense.
So we want to try the handmaiden first. Because I feel it's, if she spoke as openly to Kita as Kita says, there may be a chance we'll get her ear first.
Far be it from us women to make the decisions, Master.
I am not asking you to make a decision, I am asking for your input.
Maybe you'll just have to be decisive, Master.
Okay, you're being sold first.
that was a decision.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you top from the bottom.
That's good, because Jeffrey doesn't want to, so Jeffrey likes it with you guys.
All right, so we have come to the end of our show today. The party is now trying to figure out how they're going to deal with the new information that they've gathered. a vizier that seems to be planning something, a cult that is trying to create something, a magic carpet that a certain master of whispers wants,
I want that carpet too.
and a whole bunch of things going on. They're going to have to figure out how they're going to move forward to figure out what's going on in this town and what's going on with this cult of Set. Next time we gather, we're going to see how they're going to go about this. Is Katie actually going to be sold
Heck no.
on the slave market?
No!
Yep.
And
Nope!
Yep.
Nope!
Yep.
this tomorrow we have Dragon's Discourse. On Wednesday we will have
As far as I know, we are having Curse of Strahd.
what may be the last or second to last of Curse of Strahd.
I highly doubt it'll be the last.
And we are going to be making plans for the upcoming DCC tournament. Keep your eyes open. I know that very soon here the first game will be starting. We will keep you guys posted on that as it unfolds. If you get a chance to watch the games, please do.
Unless you're in them.
But remember, do not, under any circumstances, tell the people playing the games what you know. Watch, enjoy, but don't help. Keep your mouth shut and let them figure it out.
It's like Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club.
Don't talk about it. We will be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. In the meantime, thank you to Syrinscape for the audio that we use. Thank you to our viewers for making this absolutely entertaining. Thank you to my players for entertaining me. And you guys have a wonderful Easter evening. Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys!
Bye.